Hi, and welcome to Live from the East Side. I'm Pastor Matthew, and this is Eastside Community Church. I've forgotten to tell you on the first two episodes, our website is eastsidecommunitychurch.com.
Oh.
You can email us at pastor@eastsidecommunitychurch.com. And we are back for our young adults. I'm not young, but we have our collection of young adults that we actually collected off the street. No, we didn't. We didn't drive in like, oh, there's one, we'll pluck them. No. We actually have them here because we're going to talk about issues every program, so check us out, subscribe, like, share, comment, put thumbs up. Don't put thumbs down. I mean, even if you disagree with us, put thumbs up. All right. So introduce who you are, how old you are, and what your favorite cartoon as a kid was. We'll start on this end.
Hello, my name is Deshandra. I'm 24, and my favorite cartoon was I don't remember. I don't know, maybe like Johnny Bravo. Oh no, wait, Courage the Cowardly Dog. I like that show.
I'm Melanie, and I'm 25, and my childhood favorite cartoon was probably, I liked Rugrats a lot.
And your mom.
Yes.
So you would still like Rugrats? Well, your child's how old?
He's 6.
And Deshandra, how old is your child?
2.
2. So you wouldn't be a fan of Rugrats because the whole idea you put these fences and they're always running around doing stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so she liked Rugrats.
I'm Gary, I'm 21. My favorite cartoon as a kid and as an adult is Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah, that was what's up.
Fairly Odd Parents.
Hi, I'm Tizzy. I'm 20. My favorite, I have 2. I like Powerpuff Girls and Arthur.
Powerpuff Girls and Arthur.
Arthur, yes.
Yeah. I like Batman. Any Batman cartoons, I probably have seen it. So I like Batman. The Batman, all Batman cartoons, yes. I like Batman. You talk about somebody that has dad issues. Batman has dad issues. Definitely. Okay, so today, on our today's program, we are going to talk a couple things. We're going to talk about anger. We're going to have Muppet trivia, and we'll see where it goes. So we're going to start talking about anger. Is anger a big deal? I'm going to ask. Okay, so tell me your thoughts on anger.
I'm just so mad at anger.
You're so mad at
I
anger.
really am.
That was his joke. That was kind of a. That was like that was not Gary.
It was a good joke.
It was a good joke. All right, that was good. Dizzy, you got a joke, or do you have a comment on anger?
It's an emotion.
It's an emotion. Down there, any thoughts on anger?
Mine is anger is not, there's nothing wrong with anger. It's how you handle the anger.
So Tizzy said it's an emotion, and then you ducktailed on that saying
Yeah.
that's not a word. But anyway, that's a good point. What do you do with it? What do you got on anger down there?
I'm not sure.
Not sure. What's the stupidest you ever remember yourself getting angry? I remember, I think it was either Maddie or Betty, 2 of my daughters, one of them, and I was really angry because all parents get, see, like before you get parents, since we have 2 of them, you think, I'm never going to be angry, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that, and then you have a kid, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm evil. I'm just, because you'll be like, y'all will say, before you have a kid, like, I will never do it, and then you'll find out, yeah, you will, and more, you will be. So one of them was playing with a toy that I wanted to put away, and I looked at him, it might have been Maddie or Betty, I can't remember, and I said, it was like, so there was a little plastic toy, and I was so mad, I said, I'm going to take that plastic hot dog away, and I thought about what I said, and I thought, I'm just crazy. I'm just crazy. But what was the craziest you ever got being angry? It doesn't have to be funny. Too scared to share. Our program won't go anywhere if you don't expose yourself to maybe billions of people, hopefully. That'd be great.
There's just so many, I can't really
Okay. Did you ever, so you get emotion, what? So what did you say about anger that was good?
Well, anger is, there's nothing wrong with anger because just like Tizzy said, it's an emotion. but it's how you handle your anger. That's key. Because like even in the Bible it says be angry and sin not, which means that if you can be angry, that's valid, that's okay to be angry. But it's how you handle the anger.
How you handle anger, what does that mean?
Basically what you do with the angry feeling that you have. Like if you could scream, you could, there's negative, throw something that's negative. Positive would be, maybe just taking a breather for a minute, praying, asking God to help you to calm down, and, breathing exercises and just stuff like that. And to kind of keep your mouth shut until you just calm down. Because I've realized a lot when I get angry and if I start blabbing, it usually says a lot of things that you would regret.
So why do we have so much trouble admitting we're angry? So we will say, I'm not angry, I'm, what's that word? It starts with an F.
Frustrated?
Frustrated. Which, I don't know why we're so content saying I'm frustrated when really we're angry, but we were like, no, I'm very frustrated.
I think that's just a nice way to put it.
That's a nice, but why is it we're content with frustrated? I'm not angry, I'm not angry, I'm just really frustrated. We kind of get that shaking going on. What do you think, Deshandra?
Yeah, I mean, maybe to try to calm yourself down.
Okay, what about you, Gary? Have you ever been frustrated?
Yeah. I always thought those things are the same thing. Like frustration and anger. Because you get frustrated and then you're angry about it.
What's the difference?
The
So what's the difference between anger and frustrated? If somebody says I'm angry, I'm frustrated, it always sometimes seems the same intensity. What's the difference?
Well, to me, frustration is like the step right before anger. Like,
So it's like the baby.
yeah, it's like,
So it goes, I'm frustrated goes from the baby to the adolescent, and then the adult is I'm
and it goes
angry.
into anger, yeah. So let's say if, I don't know, you couldn't get the batteries inside of a remote, you get frustrated, it's like, I keep on putting these in wrong, and after a while you're angry and then you throw in the remote.
That's true. Have you ever thrown a remote? Yeah. Remotes are actually the instrument of the devil, if you think about it. Think how many times they've been a tool. Like, actually, remotes are abused a lot. Think of it. They're like the abused. Like, they had a coat and be like, I'm here and I've been abused by my owner.
Oh, because you want to control it.
Because you want to control it. Oh, that was my next question. What are factors that make us angry? Think about it. The hidden factors, I guess you could say. Control. She said control. What does that mean?
You want things done a certain way, or
Things done a certain way. What does that mean?
Things going your way.
Going your way. What else? What are things that make you mad? Control. So walk me through it. Something, it can be little. Like somebody's not listening to you, or we're mad at somebody for not listening to you.
Or not.
I like an irritation.
Oh, irritation. How many, let's say, how many anger words? Frustration, irritate, I'm irritated. What are some other?
Perturbed. I think
Perturbed.
That's a big word. Bigger one.
I'm perturbed. What else? What's a word?
Upset.
Upset. What else?
mad?
Mad. Livid.
Furious.
Furious.
Rageful.
Rageful.
That's a
Is
stuff.
rageful a word?
I don't know.
It is when we say it and we're angry. What about angry? What's some other words for angry? I am not, nobody ever says, I'm not happy right now. Do you ever say I'm not happy right now?
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know. Not often.
Here's one that we say and it's obvious. We shouldn't even say, I'm really angry. And it's all, when you get to that place where you're like, I'm really angry, you can always see when you're really angry and stuff. So what are things that, let me get back, so control, what are some other things that feed into us being angry?
Feeling disrespected.
Disrespected, what do you mean by that? Have you ever been angry because you feel disrespected? Deshandra, have you ever been angry because you felt disrespected?
Yeah.
What else? What does it mean to be disrespected?
It could be when someone doesn't respect respect your boundaries.
What do you mean by that? No, it's good. I'm just saying, what do you mean by it? Respect your boundaries? What does that mean?
When people say things too far.
They push it too far? So for most people, there's like you have person X, and there's a certain area that they control or spacing, and when somebody gets there, it like starts to annoy you and pushes your button. There's another anger term, pushes your buttons, or saying. What does that mean?
Keep on thinking about the books.
So you have TV issues, Gary? You're like, he's still thinking about the TV controller. So what, like if somebody gets in your space or disrespects you, what does that mean?
It's like they're kind of violating your personal boundaries.
What else? No, it's good. Violating your personal boundaries. What does boundaries mean? And this is hard. I can tell it's like really deep because we're drawing a lot of blanks, but it's like we're thinking at a deeper level. Because I think when we were angry, there's certain things that feed into it, right?
I think everyone wants to feel some type of comfort. Everyone's different, but that's where I think a set of boundaries come from. As far as like, say for instance, like you grew up a certain way and you were taught to take your shoes off at everyone's houses. Or a person invites you over and they tell you to take your shoes off and you don't. Rules. That can be like an example of pushing or invading your boundaries, another person's boundaries.
So how does anger impact us?
Makes us irrational.
What do you mean?
Like, start doing dumb things that don't make sense.
Like what? Like yelling at the plastic hot dog?
You're mad at someone else, you might end up breaking your own stuff. Doesn't make sense.
No, that's true. We break stuff. What else do we do when we're angry? How does it impact us? So Chandra, when you're really angry, how does it impact you emotionally?
It makes me really frustrated. I just use the word.
Yeah. It's frustrated.
I mean, it just makes me frustrated, and if you don't calm down, sometimes you can, when you're angry, I don't think it's just intentional that you want people to be angry, but it's like, like you're mad, so sometimes you can like say things that'll make someone else mad. It's like that.
We don't like people to not be angry when we're angry, right? That's true. And it does, I think, anger, well, we see it in our country, how many murders or how many terrible, like, really bad stuff happens, and the bottom line is somebody didn't control their anger, deal with their anger. Let's talk about how does anger build?
It destroys relationships.
What do you mean?
Like,
I gotta get a different question. What do you mean? What are you enunciating? Anyway, what do you mean by that? Yeah, go.
What was the question again?
What was the
Because
question?
we
You
both
said
had talked at the same
it's
time.
destroying relationships.
Oh, yeah.
What was the question you said? We both had talked.
Oh yeah, we talked about road rage and all that. How does anger build?
Oh, okay. There we
That
go.
was kind of the thing.
Okay. I think if you hold it in, I
Yeah.
think trying to act like you're not angry makes you more angry.
What do you mean?
It's like a pressure cooker.
Yeah.
Like being passive aggressive, and then eventually.
What does passive aggressive mean?
Like,
We
you're
use that
like-
all the time.
like,
I'm
you're
not
not-
doubting it, but
like-
what does it mean?
It means like you're angry at something, but it's like, oh, I'm not mad. Like, but then
Like
it's
in
like,
denial.
yeah.
You don't want the other person to know that you're mad, so you
try to
pass
it.
you try to.
And that builds, doesn't it?
And eventually, you can, if you like really hold it in, don't deal with it, you'll just like explode eventually.
Yeah, you will explode. And most times you're not.
And it gets real bad.
It's worse than, okay, it's like if you're mad at something and you hold it in, it's like your reaction will be 1,000 times worse than what you were even mad at in the first place because you held it in.
Mhm.
That's true.
that like gets stronger.
Yeah,
You know,
very
I have
good.
noticed over and over again, when people are mad, many times, and they express it, when they get to the expressing things, actually, let me see if I can explain. So it's kind of like, they get in an argument with, Joe, let's say Susie's really mad, just Susie. Hopefully Susie's not watching this, but okay, she's really mad. She finally explodes on a situation that seems so innocent. Well, really, why she's exploding is because of all these other things she's mad at. It just finally comes out on this.
I have something, when you said all the things that she's mad at, sometimes I'll realize, like, sometimes my anger in the past has come by something your circumstances or something happening, and so you're upset about that, and then it kind of, the anger, it starts to build inside of you because of like different things, and then I kind of forgot exactly how I was
That's
gonna
okay.
explain it.
Good cover with the coffee cup, though, that's all right.
Yeah,
No, and I think also, I remember in some of the counseling I've been in or done, depression is unresolved anger. I've heard that over and over again, that it can cause depression, it can cause strokes, it can cause so many health issues.
yeah. Like depression is kind of like anger turned inside out in a way, because usually when you're angry, something negative obviously happened, or to make you angry. Most of the time you don't just get angry for no reason. You know, there's like external factors that can portray, let's say you were bullied. You might start to develop anger from that, and you know, that's where it could stem from. Like there's different things, I always say hurting people hurt people, and a lot of people who are hurting inside, they display it on the external, you know, in different various ways, and anger can be one of them.
It's true, unresolved anger, like in parenting, it'll give unresolved anger to kids.
Yeah.
It's amazing how that impacts people. But one thing that I think is key in all this, and Tizzy started, anger is an emotion. It's what we do with anger. So we've been talking mostly about maybe the unhealthy or the wrong ways to deal with anger. What are some positive ways to deal with anger that you found in your life? I mean, obviously, no one that I know of is perfect in this area, and it's so easy to think you're doing good, and then something happens, and you just get mad. Oh, ticked off. That was another word. Ticked off.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Ticked off. I'm ticked off. That's a nice one. Ticked off. Just kind of sweet little ticked off. I'm ticked off at you. And you have that anger smile. Isn't that amazing how we can have the anger smile that it's like we're so good at faking when we're not angry. It's just so like that smile. We're good at faking it, putting it, like putting it, stuffing it way down there. But if it is an emotion, then how do we deal with it in a proactive way? Like, what's something that you feel like? What do you think, Gary?
Well, some people, they try to express it outwardly, but not like directionless. Like some people, like they go to a boxing class and they're like, okay, I'm gonna take this out in the gym today, and they come home and smile.
That is, physical activity can help you get anger out. What else? Here's one. How do you deal when you're angry at somebody that's maybe not even living anymore? It's realistic. Like somebody hurts you, or maybe somebody you don't know, and you realize, okay, wait a minute. You maybe go to therapy or counseling, or maybe just on your own, you realize, wait, I'm actually angry at this person. And I remember I was so mad at this person when I was in college, and then I held on to that anger for a long time, and then I found out the person died, and I was still angry at him. And that's just stupid, but that's just like where it was at. How do we deal with, or how do we deal with somebody that's not really doesn't, like they hurt us. Let's say we're actually in the right. Now sometimes it's the other way around, and then the person could care less. How do we deal with our anger when there's no possible way this person's going to say, oh yeah, I mean ideally you sit down there like, we forgive me, and you have this, but that's not life many times. How do we deal with that?
Well, I feel like when we're angry at people, we're not really being fair to them. We're not necessarily personifying them. we're like thinking of them as someone who shouldn't, who's not allowed to make someone else angry. And we think about ourselves like, okay, this is frustrating or it's annoying.
So let's do two types real quick. I'm just gonna, so let's say we've got the person that's more of a normal type situation, like you said. So we'll do that one first. The second one though, let's say this is somebody that maybe hurt us, like, and they were completely wrong, violated us, or maybe they stole something from us. So let's do the first one. Somebody hurt us, but they're not, you know, like our mom, whatever. How do, yeah.
Well, that one, still, what I said, what I said applies. Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off. No, you're saying Steve, what were you?
He
Oh,
said
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, we're not like allowing them to be a human being. Because like, just as irritating or annoying as they are, I am as well. So when we think about it, like, okay, well, I can't put an expectation on them that I can't put on myself. Like, it's the same in this way. If I hate them, someone probably hates me, you know?
Mhm.
So it's one of those things where if we're fair to them, we consider the fact that they're just as messed up as I am, then things become easier and we can deal with our anger in that way.
No, it's really good. What about you, Tizzy?
I mean, I think everyone, you know, when you put it that way, when you said that the person may be deceased or whatever, everyone wants closure in some way, and I think that just talking it out, I mean,
No,
if
you're,
someone's deceased, I mean, there's always counselors, there's always like guidance leaders at your church or wherever. I mean, that, because then that turns into something else, like the person you go to for advice may not give you the best advice.
Yeah.
So it's like,
or you go to somebody, and the only reason you're going to them so you keep talking about it, because
Yeah.
it's fun to stay angry and keep drumming up the emotions, and there is a sense of, you know, like it's our morbid, sinful side, but we do kind of enjoy being miserable, even though we don't. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to angelify us, if that's a word.
Yeah.
You know, like I really do not like being angry. There's a sense I like being angry sometimes.
I've noticed I used to have a huge problem with my anger because of certain things. But like forgiving somebody who's hurt you in a deep way, for me, forgiveness is, it's not so much for the other person, but it's for yourself. Because when you're harboring that bitterness and anger in your heart, it's like drinking poison and expecting your enemy to die, you know? And it's like Jesus, he commands us.
Drinking poison when you're not bitter, you're not forgiving him, you're saying.
It's like you're drinking the poison and expecting them to die, which means like you're poisoning, it's hurting you, it's not hurting them. They're out there doing whatever, you know? And they're not, but it's like it's freeing, the forgiveness is freeing for yourself, and it's also like Jesus forgave us of like all the things that I've done in my life. I don't deserve that, and it's like he's forgiving me. So it's just, we need to forgive others, and it's hard, but forgiveness is freeing. I really believe forgiveness is one of the main keys to freedom.
No, I agree. Deshauna, what were you thinking? Well, wait, collect your thoughts. So I had a friend, and he had been beaten as a kid really bad, and he became a Christian, believed in Christ. I know many of you watching probably aren't, but he did. And he looked at me and said, you know, my plan is this guy that hurt me so bad is going to be this way. I want to go out and beat that guy down. And I said, well, I don't think Jesus would do that. And he went out and reconciled with the guy, and it was like he was freed from all those years of bondage. It was powerful. I mean, it was I don't know all the details because he hadn't given me permission to share on our YouTube channel, but it was awful. But it's like he came back free. And that guy had become a Christian, couldn't ask for forgiveness of him because he knew what he did, and he was like freeing. Forgiveness does free. That is really true. Now let's I'm gonna let Deshandra tackle this one, and then we'll go down. So let's say it is somebody that really hurt us, stole money from us, maybe, you know, you can fill in the blank, and they don't deserve forgiveness, and they're not nice people. It's like something, maybe they died. We don't brush over it, but how do we deal with it? Does it make sense? It's a whole different thing when we're, I think in some ways, maybe not entirely.
I feel like a way to deal with that is when you're angry at someone, someone said it, I'm not sure who said it, that you kind of see them in a negative like way, almost like you're like, okay, they made me angry, so you just see them as angry. I feel like you have to understand, like maybe be a little more understanding as to why someone did something. I mean, that's not gonna make it better. If someone stole money from you, you know, you're gonna be mad, but it's like, okay, well, let me just calm down. Why did they steal money from them? Kind of sympathize with them as a person, not saying that you won't be angry, but just to understand, like, okay, maybe they're going through something. You know what? I forgive you because, I mean, I stole anyone's money before, but I understand maybe you're just dealing with you not having money in a not good way.
I think one thing also, sometimes it's easy to brush over. And again, my scenario was like somebody who maybe did a crime or whatever against you. Sometimes I've seen people where they want to forgive and just forget, in other words, trying to just move on. But that doesn't mean that it's not acceptable for them to face the consequence of their actions. So somebody, let's say, does this, there's nothing wrong, you're not being bogus to have them face consequences legally. Like if they, let's say they, you can fill in the blank and it's illegal, well then you're not being, you forgiving them doesn't mean that you don't also pursue action against them. I don't want to diminish their responsibility, but so you can do it, forgiving them. Absolutely. So we're almost done, but I wanted to take a minute before what we're going to do is we're going to do quick Muppet trivia, and then we'll come back and summarize. So I have here for our Muppet trivia pictures of, and you know Muppets, they're the characters.
Miss Piggy.
Miss Piggy, and I don't have a picture of Miss Piggy. I'm going to show these young adults pictures of Muppets, and then I may give them multiple choice to see if they can guess. Yes, you did pretty good on history, so let's, we'll start with an easy one. We've got pictures here. I'll show it to the camera, and then I will ask you.
Are those old school?
No, they're here. I'll show it to the camera. Can see it? Can they see it? Okay. So I want you to say who this is a picture of. Each one of you will say it, and then I'll tell you if you're right or wrong. So who is that?
Kermit. Wait, I got this.
Okay. So wait, Kermit. You're right. Okay, that was really good. Yeah, you're doing pretty good at this. Let's do this one. This is an old school one, but I think it'll work good. Can they see it? Okay. We may need a multiple choice for this one. Who is this?
Oh, that's that mean bird.
Angry bird.
No, that would be the
Oscar?
Angry Birds would be that. Oscar the Grouch starts with an S.
Sebastian.
Samuel.
Samuel, Sebastian. Just take a guess.
Stinky?
Stinky?
Sebastian might be it. That sounds really
Well, I'm going to give it to Deshandra. His name is Sam the Eagle. He's patriotic. All right, let's do. We'll do this one now. Okay, this was in the Muppet movie. This is a newer character. Are you ready?
They look like
Versions of Sesame Street.
Well, they are the same one because technically Sesame Street was invented by the same character that did the Muppet, Jim Henson. So that's why. Yeah. So who is this person? Starts with a W and he can whistle.
Really?
Wallace.
No. Whistler. His name is Walter.
Walter, okay.
Let's do this one.
You're getting them all, girl.
You can tell this is old school because they wouldn't have a Muppet like this today.
Oh,
I remember him.
Oh,
Starts with
right?
What's his name?
H.
Hermit. Angry.
No.
Henry?
You're close.
No, he's like
His
Henry?
Harry?
What did she say?
Harry Henry?
Okay, wait, say your final answer, Deshandra.
I forgot what I said.
Hermit, what did she say?
Harry Henry.
Oh, yeah, I said Harry. You said Harry. Okay.
Did you say
Well, I
Harry?
said
I said
Henry when
Harry.
she said
Harry?
Harry. When she said Harry,
Wait,
I
you
just-
said, wait, tell me your answer.
I said Harry. And then she
Harry,
said
and what's
Harry.
yours?
Harry Henry.
Ham?
Harry.
Harry, his name is Crazy Harry, so you were right.
Oh.
It looks great.
This will be an easy one.
Crazy.
Got it?
Oh, I
Okay.
remember that crazy bird thing.
He's like
This is, I think he's a shrimp, is
Oh, I
what he
remember
is.
him.
he has an accent.
Yes, because he's
He's
from
funny.
Spain.
He's funny.
He's from Spain. Starts with a P. It is not a Spanish name, though, that's
Oh, it's not?
Peter.
Peter, what do you got, Melanie?
I don't know. I gotta think about that for a minute.
Gary?
Nope. Not very well.
The answer is Pepe. I think
Yeah,
Deshandra came the closest to
I
getting
just
it.
could not.
All right, so we're going to have a quick conclusion because Tizzy has to run to work. We talked about anger. We did agree it was an emotion. We got to control it, deal with it. I would say one thing: if you're angry at somebody that you have, you can't talk to them. Write them a letter, read it out loud, and then burn that letter. What did you learn today? Like Dan Patrick's Sports Kid Radio Show. Okay, Deshandra, what did you learn today? Or what's the point you thought of?
That try to calm yourself down when you're angry, because sometimes people do.
Good. Millie?
That anger is not, it's not wrong to be angry, but it's how you handle your anger.
That anger is natural, but we should handle it in the best way possible so we don't take it out with others. And we should spread it around.
Tizzy?
You should be slow to anger towards Jesus.
Slow to anger, that is right.
It's good.
And Jesus has forgiven all our sins, and that includes anger. We need to believe in Him. This has been live from Eastside. We'll hopefully be back next week, and we're excited to say goodbye, but we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.